Alright, welcome back for another video. Today I am doing another toddler pant pattern. This one is from Dear Billy and this is the Cali Trousers. So this is my review of this pattern. I have never made anything from Dear Billy before. They have a lot of girls patterns. They don't have a whole lot of boys. I think there's like one or two things that are for the boys. But it's these cute little pants here. I just think those are so adorable. So that's what I'm making today, and I'm doing it in this checkered fabric. I'm doing it in this cute checkered print. I think that'll be so fun. I got a string there, but I'll get it later. So yeah, I'm cutting this in a size 4T, and as far as this is a PDF pattern. As far as putting it together, putting this pattern together was an absolute dream. No issues, no notes. It was great. It had the little symbols that you can match up for your patterns on like all four corners. It was just great. I really loved putting it together, and I loved all the colors too. That's such a girl thing, but I loved all the colors it was just very aesthetically pleasing, and putting it together was easy. So 10 out of 10 for me on that. So let's go ahead and get into this. And yeah, it seems pretty straightforward. I've read through the instructions a couple times. The pocket seems like it has the most steps to it, but everything else is just sewing the legs at the side seams, overlock stitching the seam allowances, putting the pocket on the pants. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. So let's just get straight into it. All right, so I just finished the pockets for the sides of the pants, and honestly, I think from here this is about to go pretty quick because the pockets have the most steps. I think it has 6 steps. So I just finished the pocket, so now I'm gonna move on to the pants. It was pretty straightforward. The instructions were clear, pretty easy. So yeah, so far so good. Let's move on to the pants. All right, so next step is to move on to the pants, and all you do is just do right sides together, and you're actually sewing along the long side. So I'm gonna do that for both, and then overlock the seam allowance, and then I'll be back. Okay, I am loving these pants. These are so stinking cute. All right, so I've sewn all along the side seam, and then I did the overlock stitch on that. Now I just need to open this up, and I just have to press the side seams towards the back, top stitch it, I think just put the pocket on, and then assemble. So this is coming together pretty quickly. I'm not done obviously, but yeah, I'm really loving this pattern. I just think this print is super cute. Like, these are going to be so cute, and then the little pocket goes on the side. This is going to be really cute. I think my niece is gonna like these. I hope so anyway. But yeah, this is coming together. All right, next step is for me to press and do some top stitching. Okay, I went ahead and did like 3 steps, I think, because I just kind of got into a groove. I've got like stray strands all over me. Yeah, I just got into a groove, so I went ahead and did like 3 steps. So I have officially like constructed the pants. I just did the crotch seam and did an overlock stitch on it. So I'm going to turn these out the right way together so we can look at it. Oh, how stinking cute. And then there's the pocket right there on the side, and then there's the pocket right here on the side. Oh, these are so fun. Okay. Cute. They're looking really good. So I'm about halfway done with this project. I just have to do the bias binding on the bottom, and then the waistband, and then that's it. And so far, honestly, this has been pretty easy of a sew. I will say these pants are very detailed. So compared to last week where I did the Drew pants, if you didn't watch that video, go watch that one. That one is like so straightforward. It's just a bunch of straight seams and you're done. This one is definitely more detailed. There's a lot of top stitching, especially on the pocket, on the side seams. There's top stitching, and it's actually a double top stitch. So still easy. I would definitely say a beginner can do this pattern. It's just, it's very detailed. So compared to last week's where it was just, you sew it up and you're done, this one has a lot more detailing on it. So again, still beginner friendly, but definitely definitely more detailed pair of pants. So I've got them all constructed now. So I'm going to move on to the bias binding to put along the ankle, and then it's just the waistband. So yeah, I think I'll just show you when I get done with it. Okay, I was gonna wait to come back at the end, but we gotta talk about this bias tape hem. Okay, if you've done bias tape before, you may not have these issues that I had. I cut the bias tape out per the pattern piece, but it was too small for the length, the circumference of this on the bottom. It was too small, so it didn't fit. So I had to recut it. So if that happens to you, all you need to do is just measure however long your end is, the hem, and then just cut your own bias tape. So that's what I did. That could have been very much user error. I made sure I cut out the right pattern pieces of 4T, but it didn't fit. So I just made my own. So crisis averted there. I've never done a bias tape hem before. I've never even used bias tape, period. So it was a little tricky, I will say, like trying to get right in that little crease. It was a little tricky. And then also doing the top stitching. I would say this is probably the most complicated top stitching in the pattern. But I will say, I really do like how this hem is done. I just think it's a really clean finish. So as complicated as it was for me, and it's not that it was even complicated, it was just I've never done it, and so it was a little tricky, and just understanding like, oh, I have to get right in that crease because you fold it over, if you know what bias tape is and how it works. So yeah, so updated opinion, I think this pattern is beginner-ish friendly, beginner-ish, maybe even confident beginner, just because that top stitching was kind of difficult. Because you have, I don't know, I don't want to say it was difficult. It was just tricky. And I do think there's a difference between it being difficult and just tricky. And like, I really had to slow down to get it done. But it came out amazing. Like, this looks incredible. I actually really love the finish of these pants. Is it gonna focus? Okay, there it goes. I actually really love how that bias tape hem comes out. So, yeah, it was just tricky. I really had to slow down to do it. And then again, the piece that I cut wasn't long enough, so I had to make my own. So, yeah, I'm really loving it. They're coming together. They're almost done. Now all I have left is the waistband. So I'm gonna do that and then I'll be right back. Okay, all done. I think it came out great. I definitely made some oopsies along the way for sure. I definitely want to try and make these again. I got all this thread, hold on. But overall, I need to cut all my threads. Sorry, hold on. But overall, I give this pattern a 10 out of 10. Just from putting the PDF together, so easy, no problems whatsoever. Just how pretty it looks, everything, like even the instructions are just, everything is just very nicely done. The instructions are very clear. I think there's a video tutorial that goes along with this, but I did not look at that. I only did the instructions. Because honestly, that's how you can tell if a pattern is good, like good. If the written instructions you can follow, then you just know it's going to be good. So here's the final look. These are just so stinking cute. I think these are adorable. I definitely made some oopsies along the way, just things I learned while doing it. I wrote like notes for myself on the pattern for next time when I make this. But yeah, I just think it's so cute. I think total time, this took me about an hour, I'd say maybe 20 minutes, somewhere around there. Hour 20, hour 30 minutes. But I think they came out pretty good for this being my first time making the pattern. I definitely will be buying more patterns from Dear Billy. Like I said, I think they only have like 2 patterns that are for boys, but I will most definitely be buying those based off of how well this one went. So yeah, I just think it turned out so cute, and I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased with it. So anyway, these are the pants. This is how it came out. My review on the Dear Billy Cali Trousers, 10 out of 10. And I would recommend it if you have a little girl or a niece or a granddaughter, whatever you have in your family. These are so cute. I got the fabric from Hobby Lobby. It's just 100% cotton. I would highly recommend it. So yeah, I think that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys next week.